Have you ever felt like there's something inside you wanting to emerge, but every time you get close to truly standing out, a deep fear pulls you back into the shadows? Maybe you have incredible talents, brilliant ideas, or unique gifts, but something whispers to you that it's safer to remain invisible. You're not alone in this struggle. Millions of people around the world carry this same wound, the fear of shining. In this video, we're going to explore together the deep roots of this fear and, more importantly, how you can free yourself from it once and for all. You'll discover why your mind created these barriers, how your thoughts have shaped the reality you're living today, and the transformative power that's inside you waiting to be activated. I'll guide you through the compassionate teachings of Louise Hay, showing how self-love, forgiveness, and personal responsibility are the keys to unlocking your natural light. And there's a special moment in this video where you can join a community of people who, just like you, are choosing courage over fear. By the end, you'll have not just a new understanding, but also a powerful practical exercise you can start using immediately to reprogram your mind and allow your authentic radiance to illuminate the world. You deserve to be seen. You deserve to celebrate who you are. And together, we're going to rewrite this story. Stay with me, because your transformation begins now. Asterisk, asterisk, the voice that diminishes you. Asterisk, asterisk. Have you ever stopped to think about where this fear of shining comes from? That feeling that if you really stand out, something bad might happen. Louise Hay teaches us that this fear has deep roots in beliefs we absorbed since childhood. Maybe you heard that you shouldn't draw attention to yourself, or that being humble meant making yourself small. These messages, repeated over the years, created a pattern in your mind. And now, even when you have the opportunity to shine, something inside you whispers, "No, better stay in the shadows." That's fear talking, not your truth. Self-criticism is the constant companion of this fear. It manifests as that internal voice that's never satisfied, that always finds something wrong with you. Louise Hay used to say that self-criticism is one of the most destructive forms of violence we can inflict upon ourselves. When you look in the mirror and only see flaws, when you finish a project and only see what could have been better, you're feeding this pattern. The truth is that this voice isn't yours. It's an echo of external judgments that you've internalized. And the good news, you can choose not to listen to it anymore. Think about Sarah, a talented designer who always dreamed of opening her own gallery. She had the gift, the vision, but every time she got close to taking the next step, fear paralyzed her. What if people don't like it? What if I fail? These questions kept her trapped. According to Louise Hay, the fear of shining is often linked to the fear of being rejected or judged. Sarah realized she was more worried about others' opinions than her own happiness. When she started working with affirmations and questioning these beliefs, something shifted. She understood that the real failure would be never trying. The fear of shining can also be connected to a belief that you don't deserve success. Perhaps at some point you were punished for standing out, or you saw someone close to you criticized for it. These experiences create an association. Shining is dangerous. Louise Hay reminds us that worthiness isn't something you need to earn. It's your birthright. You were born worthy of love, success, and happiness. When you start repeating to yourself, "I deserve to shine and be seen for my true self," you're planting a new seed in your consciousness. This seed, with care and repetition, will grow and replace the old beliefs. The root of fear lies in old thoughts, but the solution is in the present. Every moment is a new opportunity to choose thoughts that elevate you. When you notice self-criticism arising, pause, take a deep breath and ask yourself, is this true? Or is it just an old pattern? Louise Hay taught that healing begins with awareness. By recognizing these patterns, you're already taking the first step to free yourself from them. And as you walk this journey, remember, I am worthy of love and respect, exactly as I am. This is the beginning of your transformation, and there's so much more waiting for you ahead. Asterisk, asterisk, creating your new reality. Asterisk, asterisk, every thought you have is like a seed planted in the garden of your mind. Louise Hay used to say that our thoughts are the primary cause of everything we experience in our lives. This might seem scary at first, but it's actually incredibly liberating. If your thoughts created the reality you're living today, that means you have the power to create a new reality. When you think I'm not good enough, you're sending a message to the universe and your subconscious. And you know what happens. They respond by bringing situations that confirm that belief. But when you change the thought to I am capable and deserving, everything starts to align differently. The subconscious mind doesn't judge your thoughts. It simply accepts them as truth and works to manifest them. According to Louise Hay, if you constantly tell yourself you can't shine, your subconscious will create obstacles that confirm this. You might miss opportunities, sabotage your own success, or attract people who reinforce your insecurities. But here's the secret: you can reprogram this mind. Just as you learned to think negatively, you can learn to think positively. It's a practice, a daily commitment to choose thoughts that nourish you instead of diminishing you. Imagine your mind is like a computer. For years, you've installed programs based on fear, doubt, and self-criticism. These programs run automatically in the background, influencing every decision you make. Now, you have the opportunity to uninstall these old programs and install new ones based on love, confidence, and possibility. Louise Hay taught us that positive affirmations are one of the most powerful tools to do this. When you repeat my thoughts create a beautiful and prosperous reality, you're literally rewriting your mind's code. It may take time, but change is inevitable. Think about Michael, a teacher who always saw himself as ordinary, with nothing special to offer. His constant thoughts were, I'm just another one. Nobody really cares what I have to say. And his life reflected that. He felt invisible, his ideas were ignored, and he lived in a monotonous routine. When Michael discovered Louise Hay's teachings, he started paying attention to his thoughts. He realized how harsh he was with himself. So he began practicing. I have unique gifts to share with the world. At first it felt fake, but he persisted. Gradually, his posture changed, his classes became more engaging, and people started noticing. His thoughts created a new reality. The beauty of this truth is that you're not at the mercy of external circumstances. You have creative power within you. Louise Hay always emphasized that we are 100% responsible for everything in our lives. This doesn't mean blame, it means power. When you take responsibility for your thoughts, you regain control. Every morning when you wake up, you can choose, today, I choose thoughts of love and possibility. And as you make this choice repeatedly, your external life begins to reflect this inner light. I create my reality with every thought I think. This is your truth, and it's waiting to be fully lived. If this message is resonating with you, if you're starting to see the power you hold in your hands, I'd love for you to join this transformation community. Click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any powerful insights. Leave a like if this topic touched your heart, and in the comments, tell me, what thought are you choosing to change today? Share this video with someone who needs to hear this truth. Together, we're creating a wave of love and healing. The secret of true love, self-love, isn't selfishness. It's the foundation of everything. Louise Hay always said that loving yourself is the greatest gift you can give yourself. When you truly love yourself, you don't need others' approval to shine. You don't wait for someone to tell you that you're valuable, because you already know it deep in your heart. Self-love is the key that opens all the locked doors in your life. It dissolves fear, calms self-criticism, and gives you courage to be who you really are. Without self-love, you're always seeking external validation, and that's an endless journey that leaves you exhausted and empty. Many people confuse self-love with arrogance or narcissism, but they're completely different things. According to Louise Hay, true self-love is gentle, compassionate, and unconditional. It's looking at yourself with the same loving eyes you'd use to look at a small child. You wouldn't criticize a child for making a mistake. You'd embrace them and encourage them to try again. Why don't you do the same for yourself? When you start treating yourself with this tenderness, something magical happens. You stop hiding, stop diminishing yourself, and begin allowing your natural light to shine. I love and approve of myself exactly as I am. Think about Emma, a writer who always dreamed of publishing her book but never felt good enough. She rewrote the same chapters repeatedly, always finding flaws. The problem wasn't her talent, it was the lack of self-love. Emma didn't believe her voice deserved to be heard. When she started working with Louise Hay's teachings, she did a simple exercise. Every day, she looked in the mirror and said, "I love you, Emma. You are enough." At first, tears fell because she had never allowed herself to hear those words. But over time, something shifted. She finished the book, sent it to publishers, and today her story inspires thousands of people. Self-love was the catalyst. Louise Hay teaches us that self-love begins with small acts of kindness toward yourself. It can be as simple as resting when you're tired, saying no when something doesn't resonate with you, or choosing thoughts that lift you up instead of bringing you down. Every time you choose to honor yourself, you're strengthening the muscle of self-love, and the stronger it gets, the easier it becomes to shine. You stop worrying about what others will think because you're rooted in your own approval. You become your own source of love, and that's truly liberating. I am worthy of all the love and kindness life has to offer. Self-love also means forgiving yourself for past mistakes. You are not your failures. You're a being in constant evolution. Louise Hay used to say that holding on to guilt and shame is like carrying heavy stones in your backpack. They prevent you from flying. When you forgive yourself, you release those stones and allow yourself to be light again. And from that lightness, you can rise and shine like never before. Self-love isn't a destination. It's a daily journey of choosing yourself repeatedly. And each choice brings you closer to the radiant person you were born to be. There's even more hope and practical tools waiting for you ahead on this journey. Breaking free from chains. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for emotional freedom. Louise Hay always emphasized that holding on to resentments and hurts is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. When you refuse to forgive, you're imprisoning yourself in an emotional prison. The past continues to live inside you, influencing every decision, every relationship, every opportunity to shine. But here's the liberating truth. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about you. It's about releasing the weight you've been carrying and allowing your heart to breathe again. When you forgive, you're not saying what happened was right. You're saying you won't let it control your life anymore. Often, the hardest person to forgive is yourself. You carry guilt for choices you made, words you said, opportunities you missed. According to Louise Hay, this guilt is one of the biggest blocks to shining. How can you allow yourself to be seen and celebrated when, deep down, you believe you don't deserve it? Self-forgiveness is an act of courage and compassion. It's recognizing that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at that moment. You're not the same person you were yesterday, and certainly not the same as years ago. I forgive myself and release all the past. I am free to move forward with love. Think about David, a businessman who carried the guilt of disappointing his family by choosing a different path than expected. He built a successful career, but could never really celebrate his achievements. There was always a shadow of shame. When David started working with Louise Hay's principles, he realized he'd been punishing himself for years. He wrote a forgiveness letter to himself, acknowledging that following his heart wasn't a betrayal, but an act of authenticity. By releasing that guilt, he finally allowed himself to shine without reservations. His business flourished even more, and he found peace in his family relationships. Forgiveness also extends to those who hurt you. Maybe someone told you that you weren't good enough, or rejected you when you most needed support. These wounds can be deep, but Louise Hay teaches us that holding on to anger only keeps you connected to the pain. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or allowing them to hurt you again. It means cutting the energetic chains that bind you to the past. When you say I release you and I release myself, you're reclaiming your power. You're saying that your peace is more important than being right or seeking revenge. And in that release, you create space for love, joy, and radiance to enter. The forgiveness process doesn't happen overnight, and that's okay. It's a journey, not a single event. Some days will be easier than others. Louise Hay suggested starting with small steps, writing forgiveness letters you don't need to send, doing daily affirmations, or simply breathing and releasing the tension you feel when you think about the situation. Every small act of forgiveness is a victory, and as you practice, you notice you're becoming lighter, freer, more yourself. I release all resentment and choose peace. Forgiveness is the bridge between who you were and who you're becoming. And on the other side of that bridge, your light is waiting to shine without obstacles. Asterisk, asterisk, the child who needs you, asterisk, asterisk inside you. There's a child who still carries the wounds of the past. Louise Hay teaches us that many of our current fears and blocks originate in childhood experiences. That child who was criticized, ignored, or didn't feel loved still lives in you, influencing your choices and your ability to shine. When you're afraid to stand out, it's often this inner child who's afraid of being rejected again. She learned that being seen can be dangerous, that expressing your truth can result in punishment. Healing this inner child is essential for your freedom. It's about going back in time emotionally and giving her the love, security, and validation she didn't receive. Healing the inner child begins with recognizing that she exists and needs you. According to Louise Hay, you're the only one who can give this child what she needs now. No one else can do this for you. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself at the age when you felt most vulnerable. See that child clearly. What is she feeling? What does she need to hear? Maybe she needs to hear, you are loved, you are safe, you can be who you are. When you offer these words with sincerity, something profound begins to heal. You're becoming the loving parent your inner child always needed. I nurture my inner child with love and compassion. Think about Rachel, an artist who always had talent but could never show her work publicly. She felt tightness in her chest every time she thought about exhibiting her paintings. Working with Louise Hay's teachings, Rachel discovered that her inner child carried the memory of being ridiculed at school for a drawing she made. That experience, though it happened decades ago, still controlled her adult life. Rachel began doing visualization exercises, embracing that 8-year-old girl and telling her that her talent was beautiful and valid. Gradually, the fear began to dissolve. Today, Rachel exhibits her works with pride, and each canvas is a celebration of the healing she achieved. Louise Hay often suggested the mirror exercise to heal the inner child. Look yourself in the eyes and speak directly to the child you were. Say the words she needed to hear. I love you. You are special. You deserve to be happy. At first, this might feel strange or even bring tears, because you're touching old wounds, but these tears are healing. They're the release of pain that's been stored for too long. The more you practice this exercise, the more you feel the inner child relaxing, trusting, and finally allowing you to shine. She doesn't need to protect you by hiding your light anymore, because she knows she's safe now. The healed inner child is the source of your creativity, joy, and authenticity. When you heal these old wounds, you recover parts of yourself that were lost or hidden. You remember what it's like to play, dream, and believe in infinite possibilities. Louise Hay used to say that the inner child is where your true essence resides, before the world told you who you should be. By healing this child, you're reconnecting with your deepest truth. My inner child is safe, loved, and free to express her joy. And from this healing, a renewed courage is born to shine, not despite your past, but through its transformation. The journey continues, and there's even more power waiting for you. And speaking of reconnection and healing, soon I'm going to share with you a powerful practical exercise that will help you apply everything we're exploring together. Stay with me, because this tool might be the turning point you've been waiting for. Asterisk, asterisk words that transform everything. Asterisk, asterisk affirmations are one of the simplest and most powerful tools Louise Hay left us. They're positive statements you consciously repeat to reprogram your mind. When you say, I am worthy of shining, you're planting a seed in your subconscious. At first, this seed might seem small and fragile, especially if you've spent years saying the opposite. But with repetition, care, and intention, this seed grows and becomes a strong, rooted belief. Louise Hay used to say that affirmations work because the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's repeated with conviction. It simply accepts and manifests. So why not use this power in your favor? The key to effective affirmations is consistency and emotion. It's not enough to just repeat words mechanically. You need to feel them. According to Louise Hay, when you combine the affirmation with the corresponding emotion, you accelerate the transformation process. For example, when you say I love myself deeply and completely, pause and really feel that love in your heart. Place your hand on your chest. Breathe deeply and allow the feeling of love to expand. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. And one day, you realize you're not pretending anymore. You really believe it. My words have power, and I choose words that elevate me. Think about Jennifer, a teacher who struggled with imposter syndrome. She constantly felt like a fraud, even though she was highly qualified. Her automatic thoughts were, I don't know enough. Someone's going to discover I'm not that good. When Jennifer discovered Louise Hay's affirmations, she started practicing daily. I am knowledgeable and capable. I have immense value to offer. At first, her mind resisted, bringing up contrary evidence, but Jennifer persisted. She wrote her affirmations, said them out loud in the car, and repeated them before sleeping. Gradually, her posture changed. She started speaking with more confidence, accepting compliments without discomfort, and shining in her profession. Affirmations were the seeds that transformed her reality. Louise Hay always emphasized the importance of using affirmations in the present tense, as if they were already true. Don't say, "I will be confident." Say, "I am confident." Your subconscious responds to the present tense. When you affirm something as if it's already real, you're sending a clear message to the universe and your own psyche. You can also create specific affirmations for areas where you feel the most resistance. If you're afraid of being seen, try, "It's safe for me to be seen and celebrated." If you fear success, try, "I accept success with joy and gratitude." Personalize your affirmations so they speak directly to your needs and fears. I create powerful affirmations that transform my life. Affirmations aren't instant magic, but they are consistent transformation. Louise Hay reminds us that we change our lives by changing our thoughts, and affirmations are the practical tool to do this. Start your day with affirmations. End your day with affirmations. When you notice a negative thought arising, immediately replace it with a positive affirmation. You're literally rewriting the script of your life, one word at a time. And as you do this, you notice that the fear of shining begins to dissolve, because you're constantly reinforcing your truth. You are worthy, you are capable, you are capable, you are light. I am a radiant expression of life, and I shine with confidence and love. The seeds you plant today will become the lush forest of your tomorrow. Stay with me, because there's even more power waiting to be awakened. Asterisk, asterisk, claiming your power, asterisk, asterisk, taking responsibility for your power is one of the most liberating steps you can take. Louise Hay always taught that we are 100% responsible for everything in our lives. This doesn't mean blame, it means power. When you blame others, circumstances, or the past for where you are, you're giving away your power. You're saying you're a victim, and victims can't change their lives. But when you take responsibility, you regain control. You recognize that although you can't control what happened, you can control how you respond and what you create from here. This shift in perspective is revolutionary. I take full responsibility for my life and my radiance. Many people resist this idea because they confuse responsibility with blame. According to Louise Hay, it's not about blaming yourself for bad things that happened. It's about recognizing that you have the power to choose your thoughts, your reactions, and your actions. If you're living with fear of shining, it's nobody's fault, but it's your responsibility to change it. No one else can do this work for you. Your parents, your friends, your therapist can support you. But real change only happens when you decide, "I am the creator of my life, and I choose to create something beautiful." This decision is the turning point. Think about Marcus, a talented musician who spent years blaming the music industry for not recognizing his talent. He said the system was unfair, that the right people didn't know him, that he didn't have the opportunities others had. And while he blamed, he remained stagnant. When Marcus found Louise Hay's teachings, something clicked. He realized he was waiting for the world to change, when actually he needed to change his approach. He took responsibility. He started promoting his music differently, connecting genuinely with his audience, and believing in his value. In less than a year, he was playing in venues that previously seemed impossible. Responsibility was the key that opened the doors. Taking responsibility also means recognizing that you have the power to say no. No to relationships that diminish you. No to jobs that drain your energy. No to thoughts that limit you. Louise Hay used to say that every time you say yes to something that doesn't resonate with you, you're saying no to yourself. When you take responsibility for your well-being, you become selective about where you place your energy. You understand that your time, your attention, and your light are precious, and you don't waste them on situations that don't honor you. I have the power to choose what's best for me, and I choose with love and wisdom. The power you have is immense, but it can only be accessed when you stop waiting for someone or something external to save you. Louise Hay reminds us that salvation comes from within. You are the hero of your own story. When you take on this responsibility, you stop living in reactive mode and start living in creative mode. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You're actively shaping your reality. And from this position of power, shining is no longer scary, it's natural. It's who you are when you allow yourself to be fully responsible for your own light. I am powerful, I am capable, and I create the life I desire. This is your power, and it's waiting for you to claim it completely. The journey is almost complete, and the best is yet to come. Asterisk, asterisk, attracting natural abundance, asterisk, asterisk, prosperity isn't just about money. It's about abundance in all areas of your life. Louise Hay always taught that when you allow your light to shine, you naturally attract prosperity. This includes vibrant health, loving relationships, exciting opportunities, and yes, financial resources too. But prosperity begins from within. If you believe you don't deserve abundance, or that shining will cost you something precious, you're blocking life's natural flow. When you free yourself from these fears and embrace your true essence, you become a magnet for all good things. I am a prosperous being, and abundance flows to me with ease and joy. Many people have a complicated relationship with prosperity because they were taught it's wrong to want more, or that spiritual people shouldn't worry about material things. According to Louise Hay, this is a limiting belief that needs to be dissolved. You can be spiritual and prosperous. You can shine and have abundance. In fact, when you prosper, you have more resources to help others, to create positive impact, and to live your mission fully. Prosperity doesn't make you less spiritual. It empowers you to be an even greater expression of love. There's no virtue in scarcity. I deserve prosperity in all forms, and I accept it with gratitude. Think about Sophia, a life coach who always had difficulty charging for her work. She felt that helping people should be free, and that asking for money was somehow impure. As a result, she was constantly struggling financially, exhausted and unable to reach more people. When Sophia started working with Louise Hay's principles about prosperity, she realized she was devaluing her own gift. She understood that energetic exchange is important, and that when people invest in themselves, they commit more deeply to transformation. Sophia adjusted her prices to reflect her value, and something incredible happened. She attracted more committed clients, her financial situation improved, and she was able to expand her impact. Prosperity allowed her to shine even brighter. Louise Hay teaches us that gratitude is the gateway to more prosperity. When you appreciate what you already have, you send a message to the universe that you're ready to receive more. Start each day acknowledging the blessings in your life, no matter how small they seem. Be grateful for your health, for the roof over your head, for the people who love you, for the opportunities that arise. This practice of gratitude shifts your vibration from scarcity to abundance, and from abundance, you attract even more. It's a positive cycle that feeds itself. I am grateful for all the abundance in my life, and more is coming to me now. Prosperity is also connected to your willingness to shine. When you hide, when you diminish your light, you're telling the universe you're not ready to receive. But when you allow yourself to be seen, when you share your gifts with confidence, You open the channels for abundance to flow. Louise Hay used to say that the universe wants to support you, but you need to be open and receptive. Shining isn't arrogance, it's alignment with life's natural prosperity. You were born to prosper in every sense, and when you embrace this completely, without guilt or fear, you become an unstoppable force of creation and abundance. I shine with confidence, and prosperity finds me wherever I am. Your light is the beacon that attracts all good things to your life. And now, it's time to put all of this into practice. Asterisk, asterisk, meeting your light. Asterisk, asterisk, mirror exercise. Recognizing and celebrating your light. Now it's time to transform all this knowledge into action. This exercise is based on one of Louise Hay's most powerful practices, mirror work. You'll need just a few minutes, a mirror, and the willingness to truly meet yourself. Find a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Stand in front of a mirror, preferably where you can see your face clearly. Take 3 deep breaths, allowing your body to relax and your mind to calm. Now, look directly into your own eyes. Don't look away. This might feel uncomfortable at first, and that's okay. Maintain eye contact with yourself and say out loud, with sincerity, I see you. I recognize your light. You are worthy of shining. Repeat this 3 times, allowing the words to penetrate deeply into your heart. Next, place your hand over your heart and say, I forgive myself for all the times I hid. I forgive myself for being afraid to shine. From now on, I choose to honor myself and allow my light to illuminate the world. Feel the release that comes with these words. If tears come, let them flow. They're part of the healing now. Still looking into your eyes, declare with conviction, I am powerful. I am capable. I am worthy of all love, success, and prosperity. I shine with confidence and joy. Say this as many times as you need until you feel a shift in your energy, a sense of truth settling in. Finish the exercise with gratitude. Thank yourself for having the courage to do this work. Thank your light for never giving up on you, even when you tried to hide it. And then, smile at yourself in the mirror, a genuine smile of love and acceptance. Practice this exercise every day, preferably in the morning, to start your day aligned with your truth. Over time, you'll notice that the fear of shining dissolves, and in its place, a radiant confidence is born. You're reprogramming your mind, healing your inner child, and reclaiming your power. This is your moment. This is your radiance. Asterisk, asterisk, your moment to shine. Asterisk, asterisk, you made it here. And that in itself is already a victory. The simple fact that you dedicated this time to explore what's keeping you from shining shows that you're ready for change. Louise Hay always reminded us that the journey of self-discovery and healing is continuous, and every step you take with love and intention brings you closer to the radiant person you were born to be. Don't wait for perfection to start shining. Begin now, exactly where you are. Apply the affirmations, practice the mirror exercise, forgive yourself and others, and take responsibility for your power. Every small action is a seed of transformation. And always remember, you are worthy, you are capable, and your light is needed in this world. Shine with love, shine with courage, and allow your true essence to illuminate every corner of your life. The world is waiting for you.